Hello friends, welcome. Friends, in the morning I wrote this article, why BSNL's 4G network coverage is so poor. So what I plan to do in this video, because this article is full of numbers and some way people will find it very difficult to digest an article which is so ingrained with numbers. So I'm taking this opportunity in this video to explain to you to how to read this article and what is the logic that has ingrained into this article to explain the reason why BSNL's network coverage is so poor. So this is the purpose of this video. Now, if you go paragraph by paragraph in this article, you will notice that I start this article with the fact that BSNL has become a point of interest of the consumers because of the recent tariff hikes. Everybody knows that because tariff hike has moved certain customers from other service providers to BSNL, who has added 6.8 million wireless subscribers within a window period of 4 months. And other providers have lost subscribers, which you know Bharti has lost 3.6 million subscribers and Reliance Jio has lost 16.5 million subscribers, and there have been some consolidation. So in this article, it aims to systematically examine why BSNL's 4G network performance is remaining subpar despite the government claims that they have made so much amount of investment and they have spent so much amount of money in deploying of BSNL's towers. Now, I would like you to focus on this parliament question. This is important. So if you click on this, if I click on this, this page is going to open, and you will find that in this question, in this parliament question, which is directly from the site. So what I will do is I will open the page which I have underlined for your easy to read and understand. So here this parliament question was answered on 11th December 2024, which is quite recent. So what it says is that there has been a fund allocation to BSNL of 2.28 lakhs, out of which 1.33 lakhs was spent or disbursed. And it also says that BSNL started deploying or receiving equipment from September 2023, and as of 6 December 2024, it has deployed 61,492 4G based sites, and it is basically going on to procure another 51,135 sites which are on air, and the BSNL's 4G equipment is upgradable. This is the gist of this parliament answer to this parliament question. Now let's go straight to my article. Where is my article? My article is this is the article. So if you go to my article, you will notice that, okay, just a minute. I think, so I have to go here. I have to go back. So here it basically says that, as I told you, that BSNL has deployed 61,492 sites as of 6 December 2024, right? So now what I'm doing is I'm trying to triangulate this information to figure out the structure of BSNL network, because that is going to give me insight as to why the quality of service of BSNL network is poor. And how do I triangulate this information to figure out how BSNL has deployed their 4G services? I do it by using DOT's dashboard. Now, if you go to Department of Telecommunication and if you go to Telecom towers here, and if you go here and then you deep dive here and you click on this, you will be able to see information about towers installed and BTS installed on a cumulative basis. So you can basically plug in numbers here, and by plugging numbers, you will be able to get how many towers have been being deployed on a daily basis. And you can go as much back as you want. Right, if you basically go and see here, it will find that it's actually as back as I think 2010 or on 11. You have to look into it. So what I did was I extracted all these numbers of the total number of base station. I created this dashboard, which is right in front of you. Let me show you the dashboard where, there is this dashboard. This dashboard I have created. So let me just zoom in a little bit so that you can understand that this data has been aggregated and plotted here. So this dashboard has got two sections. One is the cumulative section. Another is the incremental section, right? Cumulative is cumulative data. Incremental is incremental data. Now, as I told you that the total BTS information is available from DOT's dashboard. The total tower information, the cumulative tower information is available from DOT's dashboard. And I also have the 5G BTS information available from DOT dashboard, which is provided under a separate category. Now using this 5G BTS information and the total BTS information, I will be able to get the information about what is the rest of the technologies BTSs which have been growth, which will include 4G, right? Similarly, I will be able to get the incremental tower information also. So all this information has been shown here in the bottom part of this dashboard, where you can see that 5G BTSs have grown from October 2023 till December 2023. The total number of 5G BTSs which has been added is 1.34 lakhs. The rest of the BTSs, which is 4G plus 3G, 2G, whatever it is 48K, and the total BTS number grew by 1.83 lakhs, and the tower number has grown by 45K within this window period of October 23 to December 23, right? So this information we can very easily able to extract from this, and this is what I have listed down in this paragraph, right? Now when you go down here, you will notice the following, that which is the same part now the point is that there is one interesting thing. BSNL is claiming to have deployed 61,492 base station within this period from October to December. But if you see here, the rest of the BTSs is only 48K. So how can it be? When you have started deploying from October 2023 till December 2023, and Parliament question says that you have deployed how many? You have deployed 61,492. But based on my analysis, it shows that only 48,548 number of base station, rest of the base station apart from 5G was added, because I have this number and I have that number, so I will be able to extrapolate. So what does it mean? It means that certain number of base station of 2G and 3G has been decommissioned. Then only this number, this particular fact will get matched, right? So this is one part which is important. So in this paragraph, I am estimating the tower and BTS dynamics. So what I have done is I have done two things. First, I am able to I am seeing the number of towers that have been added, the extra number of towers that have been added. That is also very important information, because if you see here that to explore further, we have to examine the tower counts. As of October, the total number of towers it stood at 7.79 lakhs, and it has increased to 8.17 lakhs. So the growth is up to 38,000 towers. Since BSNL tower count remains relatively constant around 70,000, right, which is basically coming from another Parliament question, right, which says that BSNL has around 70,000 towers. So, and it stood around 68. This is the Parliament question, right, which you can basically go and click on my website, on my article, and you can go and look into it. So we can assume that this 38,000 increasing towers were entirely contributed by the private operators. Means whatever number that has increased, right, which is provided in the DOT dashboard, is on account of private operators. So it is plausible to assume that all the 38,000 towers hosted at least one 4G BTS, because whenever the tower numbers are increased, there could be various type of technologies which can be deployed in the towers. As I told you, the tower is a site location where multiple BTSs can get deployed. So in these towers, there could be multiple sites. It can be 5G, 2G, 3G, 4G, but it is unlikely that it will get deployed. 2G and 3G will get deployed in these new towers. And I am also doubting that it is going to be used for 5G, because 5Gs are going to be focused only in the urban areas. These are going to be for expansion of coverage, right? Mostly for expansion of coverage. So it will likely to get loaded with 4G BTSs only. There could be multiples, but I am assuming that one BTS per tower. So with the total number of BTSs which BSNL has added within the window period of 61,492 and additional 4G BTSs which have been added by the private operators because of the tower increase, the total number of BTSs, 4G BTSs, will be roughly around, based on this calculation, will be around how much? 1 lakh. If you add this two together, it comes out to be 1 lakh, right? 1 lakh 4G BTSs have been added between October 2023 to December 2023, right? But we see from that dashboard that, however, if you look at this dashboard, what do you see? This is only 45,000, right? If you see here, what is the number? From October 23 to December 23, however, the total increase of non-5G BTSs, including 2G, 3G, 4G during the period was only 45,000. So this is a discrepancy of around 55,000 BTS, suggested that older 2G, 3G BTSs were decommissioned. You got it? So we need to now identify the source, right? And then only we'll be able to figure out what is the structure of BSNL network. Then only we'll know, okay, how BSNL has used their network to commission or their 4G network. Means what they have actually done, which frequency band they have deployed. Now, identifying the source of decommissioning BTSs, we know the Reliance Jio does not operate 2G network or 3G network. So the decommissioning can only happen for BSNL, Bharti, Vodafone Idea. BSNL is unlikely to decommission 2G, right? Only possibility of BSNL decommissioning is going to be 3G. So they probably have decommissioned 3G BTSs operating in the 2100 MHz band for freeing up for spectrum for 4G. This is a very easy and very plausible conclusion to make, right? I think the accurate conclusion to make. Or as regard Bharti Airtel is concerned, their 2G consolidation has largely completed. And any further reduction is minimal because they need to have at least a thin layer of 2G throughout the country. Otherwise, their feature phone will not operate. They need the feature phone to have full roaming capability throughout the country. So it is plausible that Airtel focused on adding 4G BTSs without significantly decommissioning 2G and 3G BTSs during this period. Similarly, Vodafone Idea also would have done similar, 2G BTSs decommissioning very, very less. I don't think they have done because they also have a lot of feature phone working in their network, right? So the above assumptions on a minimal 2G decommission looks reasonable given these operators need to support pan-India coverage of 2G, which I already told you. So basically what it basically means that this discrepancy on the total number of base stations calculation which you saw that BSNL has deployed 61,000 base stations, but roughly within that window period we are able to see only 45,000 base stations being deployed, which could not be right because there were towers deployed on top of which 4G base stations have been deployed, which looks to me that the BSNL substantial number of 3G sites have been decommissioned in order to roll out their 4G BTSs. Then only this equation can be hold true. Otherwise, it does not make any sense. Now comes to the point about BSNL service quality. Now you have figured out the structure of BSNL network, which is kind of unwinding their 3G network and commissioning 4G on their 2100 MHz 3G network. That's how they are deploying. That is where the focus is. I don't see a focus in the 700 MHz band as of now, right? Otherwise, this equation would not have matched. If BSNL is indeed decommissioning 3G sites and replace them with 4G sites, what does it mean for the quality of service for BSNL? Answer lies with the limitation of the 2100 MHz band. Now you know that the 2100 MHz band is a high frequency band and this is only a single band. It doesn't have a lower frequency band which is integrated with the 2100 MHz band, unlike for other operators who have deployed 4G services integrating with low frequency band, mid frequency band and high frequency band. For example, Reliance Jio's 4G services have got 800 MHz, 1800 MHz, 2300 MHz integrated as a single offering. So they have a much better. Similarly, Bharti has 900 MHz, 1800 MHz, 2300 MHz and VI has 900, 1800 and 2500 MHz for the 4G. In case of BSNL, it is only single band 2100. They have 2500 MHz band, but that's a higher frequency. So if you are going to have a network only on 2100 MHz band and your 700 MHz band is still empty, you have not deployed any 4G, significant 4G in the 700 MHz band, what it means for your coverage. Your coverage is going to be very, very poor. There won't be any in-building penetration because you do not have a support of a low frequency band for 4G, which other operators like Reliance Jio, Vodafone Idea and Bharti has. That is one of the main reasons why BSNL is struggling to match the connectivity of their private counterpart, even at those locations where they have coverage. They may not have coverage, they may not have towers as the private operators have. The number of towers private operators have is much higher than what BSNL has. BSNL has only 70,000 towers. But even in those towers, because of the 2100 focus, they do, without having a low frequency band which is integrating with the 2100 megahertz band to offer 4G services, their quality of service will be very, very poor, because 2100 is a high frequency band. It does not penetrate indoor, and it does not have a support of a low frequency band. So in essence, BSNL effort to expand 4G services are commendable, but a reliance on the 2100 megahertz band undermines its ability to offer a competitive service. Right? Now, second is that BSNL exploring, suppose let's say BSNL now start exploring 4G as a sub-GHz band alternative. Let's look at that. What options BSNL has? BSNL has 900 megahertz spectrum. BSNL has 700 megahertz spectrum. Right? BSNL does not have 1800 megahertz spectrum. So BSNL can start offering 4G in 900. Can they? No, because 900 is currently used by GSM, Pan India, and they need to keep continue 900 megahertz band. They cannot unwind it. They have the option to deploy 4G in 700 megahertz band. But the problem with 4G in 700 megahertz band is that if they deploy 4G in 700 megahertz band, then their 5G migration path is going to get compromised. Why? Because what will happen is that as soon as you start deploying 4G in 700 megahertz band, you can't deploy 5G because the RF network is not compatible. Right? You cannot deploy 5G and 4G simultaneously in 700 megahertz band. So what would happen is that there will be a problem, and then what will happen is that, let's say if you let's say have an integrated network of 700 and 1800 and 2100 together today on 4G, and tomorrow you want to deploy 5G in 700, then you have to decommission your 4G network in 700. Then the users who are getting seamless experience because of the coupling of two bands suddenly will latch on to only 2100 because you don't have 1800 megahertz band. So the 4G subscriber who do not have the 5G capability on their device will suddenly lose services. So this is going to compromise their 5G plan, because there will be a lot of disruption in the quality issues on their existing customers. And the second problem would be the device compatibility issues. What is the device compatibility? Because the 700 megahertz 5G network already available in the market with high-end models, the 4G devices in 700 are available, but only in high-end, not in low-end. So if you are going to have a 700 plus 2100 megahertz 4G network, then that network is only going to cater for high-end customers, not on the budget-conscious customers. So that is going to be another problem that they are going to face. So anybody who has procured a device to latch on to their 700 megahertz band has to have a 5G capable device. So it will defeat the purpose of having more consumers who are more affordable, more price conscious consumer. So this creates a classic catch-22 situation for BSNL. Deploying 4G in 700 megahertz might improve the coverage in the short term, but would render their network less effective for budget users due to device limitation. So the conclusion is that BSNL, what they could have done, they could have created a similar approach which the other operators have done. One high frequency band or a mid frequency band, another low frequency band for one particular technology. So they already have 2100 megahertz band. They could have anchored the 800 megahertz band, created an integrated network with high frequency and low frequency, offer an integrated offering just like the other private operators have done. And for 5G, they could have used the 700 megahertz band and the 3500 megahertz band, high frequency, low frequency together. This would make their network much more future-proof and much more better compared to the private operators, compared to what they have today, where they have a single frequency network for 4G without support of the low frequency band, which is permanent support for the low frequency band, which is 700, because 700 they have to unwind for future 5G deployment. So this is where the problem is, and the 800 megahertz spectrum is lying free. It has no takers in the last two auctions. The government might as well give 800 megahertz spectrum to BSNL to have an integrated 4G offering, which is going to sustain for a long period of time without getting disturbed, right? And they can have an independent 5G offering in 700 plus 3500 megahertz band. This I have discussed in my article long back. You can read through it. So this is where I think the government can do this tweaking. They spend huge amount of money on BSNL. If they do this tweaking, which I have been saying for such a long period of time, I don't know how many times I have repeated this. This will make the quality of BSNL network better. and consumers will really have the benefit of competitiveness in the market so that their interest is protected. So friends, I hope that you probably understood the intent of this article and why I did this video and what is the purpose of doing this video. I hope that you have understood it, and thank you for your time. I'll come back with a new video next time. Thank you very much.